I hope everyone's having a super great week. In this video, we're just going to have a little look back at another element, a key aspect of fundamentals in training, which is in-hand work. So I believe in-hand work is a really important key to training because there's so many benefits. So by doing in-hand work, basically what we help the horse with is improves his balance, his suppleness, his strength for riding, the coordination, bringing the aspect of relaxation with gear on, and working with his flexibility, fitness, and the synchronicities with us. So there are reasons why I do in-hand work with my guys. It's not just for just like a pure classical dressage aspect. It's all those extra benefits that we should think about when we're riding our horses, to have them in a correct frame to carry us in the best way for their bodies as possible. So this is why we've got this little video of Yardan, and you can see me troubleshooting him. At the start, definitely not perfect, and then we start to bring in the aspects. So this is part one. In this, sometimes I will just do an in-hand session, okay, and that's purely in hand. And you know, I will spend maybe maximum about the same time as Liberty, 20-25 minutes max, if I'm just doing purely in-hand work. In this session I actually rode as well, so it's a shorter in-hand session, but the achievements that I got always think quality over the amount of time. So I was really happy with how hard Yardan tried in this, and then I can leave it to set us up for the next session. So for our benefits, working in hand, it will increase your timing and releasing without the extra goings on of the safety aspect of being on their back. So it's really good for your contact, really good for your visualization on the ground, so you can see how your horse is working in a frame and where they should be sitting. It also helps to give you and the horse a bigger spectrum of aids. Okay, so you're not just working with aids from above, you're working now with the aids on the ground, which always increases everything that we do when we ride. So massive amount of benefits there. Hope you like this little video of Yardan doing some in-hand work. And yeah, if you've got any questions, please shoot them through.
So here we are after just a warm-up, a relaxed warm-up. We are going to be doing some in-hand work. Now, as you will notice, first off, Yardan is moving. He's not concentrating on what I'm asking, and he's wanting to do his own little routine. So my first point of call is knowing that. So I get him moving. There is no point me trying to ask him to stand obediently when his mind is already elsewhere. So we get movement in. Now, in this case, like I said, he's had a warm-up, so I don't need to ask for the stretch down. I'm asking for him to walk the circle in the correct fashion. So I'll explain this to you. So what I'm looking for, the three main things, is him stepping under himself, his head is on the vertical, and he's got a slight bend to the inside. Now, as you could see with that halt, he did quite a bit of movement. So this is also what I'm assessing as I'm going along. He swung his bottom out, he didn't halt straight. So that's when I now have done my circle, done my assessment, and now this is where the improvement comes in. But as you can see, I'm just taking my time to reassure him, to ask him to come back and focus on what we actually are doing in the moment. So now we approach the walk in a much better way. So I'm much happier with how we approached that halt to walk. And now we are really focusing on him stepping under himself, so the inside hind should track into the inside's fore legs track. So that's what I'm looking to see, that he's engaging his hind end correctly on this circle. Then I assess the rhythm. So is he pushing on me? Is he trying to get ahead of me? Is he in sync with me? Now, as you can see, I do a change of rein in movement because I want him to really start to engage to, once again, a next level, because Yardan knows in hand work. So because I know this, he doesn't need to stay at the basic level. So we do things now in more fluency and movement. You can see the change. He bent around me very, very comfortably. There was no awkwardness. The rhythm pretty much stayed the same, and the circles looking really nice. Now, as we come into halt here, he has a little few steps, but then I can start to correct him because I know I've got a more focused horse with me. So as you see, I'm just taking my time to correct the straightness and then give him his reward, and then we just take the time to just let that process, because this is where the quality does matter. And I try to allow the same amount of time that I do with him at Liberty before I'm moving on again, because this is where, like I said, we understand it through Liberty, so we need to do it within our other parts of our training. Then we can move on again. So once again, we changed rein. He did the walk to halt to walk again really nicely. There's no getting ahead of me. So now I know, once again, I can up the training level again. So we go into trot. Now with our trot work, it's really important that he's not pushing and getting ahead of me. He has to go at my pace. So within this trot work, I'm also looking for, is he staying out and in self-carriage, or is he falling in on me? Do I have to help him? Do I have to keep a rhythm for him? Or is everything he's maintaining quite nicely by himself? Now, as you can see, when I did a change of rein, he comes back to walk because he's not yet capable of doing a smooth change of rein in hand at trot. So then we now approach the trot on the other rein. And once again, on this other rein, I'm making sure that everything feels the same, because this is a really big thing on keeping everything nice and even. So he kept a really nice rhythm, and now because we have kept a really nice rhythm, I try and see if we can go into some canter. And as you can see, we got one stride and then we got 3 strides together, and that's when we stop and give a beautiful, beautiful reward, because this is a big deal for Yardan to step up into in-hand canter. And after I've given him enough break, we try one more time. Now, as you can see, I start off with a nice calm walk, and then I bring my energy up and to ask for the canter, and we get a beautiful 3 strides again, and then I make sure that I can bring him back lovely and calmly. And then, as you can see, he did all the right things. So this is enough. I don't need to do the other rein while he's learning. We're just staying with a really positive experience so I can move on to the next stage next time. I also, when I walk away from him, I drop the rein and see if he will follow. So that's a really important part of training like this, with more pressure, seeing if you've still got the connection after you've done a high degree of pressure training.